Takes it at the 4. And here we fumble. And Kansas City falls on it.
That could have been disaster early. And Denver needed a break like that. They got the fumble, but they couldn't hold on to it.
Frank Winters recovered the fumble for Kansas City. Kansas City's offense. Their offensive line, particularly good in pass protection, as DeBerg has been sacked only 4 times in the last 4 games. Backs and receivers. Christian Okoye draws the starting assignment at running back, but also look for Barry Word in that slot. When Kansas City goes to 4 wide, the 2 running backs and the tight end will come out. McNair, Harry, and big play artist J.J. Burden come in. And Kansas City comes out throwing all the time in the world right over the middle. Surprise Christian Okoye, not known for the great hands.
Stephon Page was the primary receiver. DeBerg has so much poise. He looked outside. Okoye is the 4th alternate, I'm sure, and he just dropped him a little pass.
Denver's defense, their defensive front 7. Notice Fletcher is at right outside linebacker, Lucas left side, Mecklenburg is back inside. Their secondary, it has been torn apart by injuries. The Broncos have had 4 different starters at left corner. And this time Okoye in the role that you expect, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards to the 22. Where Ron Holmes of the Broncos is there to greet him.
Okoye tried to break back behind his blocking, something Barry Word's been doing all year when he's entered the game. And the criticism of Okoye is he's just followed directly his blocking. Watch him bend back behind everybody. If he could have only moved about 3 more steps, he'd have had an opening. But this he must develop, or Word will be the running back.
Chiefs at their own 22-yard line opening drive, 3rd down and 4. Shotgun deep over the middle. Pass is complete. 36-yard line. A.B.L. Harry has it. And Wyman Henderson there for the Broncos. A gain of 13. 1st down. 3rd down conversion.
Wyman Henderson can stay close to a receiver, but he has a very difficult time making a play on the ball. This is a good example. Harry runs a deep in pattern. Henderson's in good position, but not to make the play. Beautiful throw. Great catch, but the defender just isn't able to close on a receiver when the ball's in the air, and this is Henderson's problem. You'll see a lot of action, Wyman.
36-yard line, 1st down. Pass is complete to Stephon Page, and Dennis Smith makes the tackle. A gain of 15, back-to-back 1st downs.
DeBerg wanted to throw a slant to Page, but the defense changed. And you'll see Robbins come up, and at that point, Page changes his pattern and splits the defender. So a beautiful job by DeBerg reading the coverage and Page adjusting. And this is where the real improvement of the Chiefs has occurred, this phase of the football game.
1st down, Denver, 49-yard line. Okoye, flea flicker, all alone is Page. Slides into the end zone with a touchdown.
A beautiful job of executing this play. You'll see the pitch back by Okoye. Now DeBerg throws a nice softball right up over the top, and Steve Atwater, the big hitting safety, bought on the run, and there's a big hole down the middle. Hold at just the right time, and Robbins just can't stay up with Page, but more importantly, a beautifully executed play.
On the drive, DeBerg, 4 of 4. All right. And Nick Lowry tags the extra point. Kansas City 7, Denver nothing.
Beautifully executed play. Beautifully executed.
84 yards, 5 plays, just over 3 minutes, 49-yard pass. And DeBerg debunking the fact that he is a short play control quarterback. He has been going deep this year. Ezor and Montgomery are deep. And Montgomery takes it at the 9. To the 20, the 25. Breaks it to the outside, slips the tackle. A great return. 2 flags drop back at the 20 and the 25. Let's go back to the touchdown.
A beautiful job of faking. First, watch both safeties' reaction to Okoye taking that ball. And when you see that, then you'll realize that Okoye has fooled everybody. Now he'll take the ball inside, pitch it back. Now watch both safeties totally fooled, and that leaves Page wide open down the middle. And when those safeties start running forward, that receiver breaking behind him, it's over. A beautifully thrown ball, too, Charlie, because he put nice soft touch on it. He wasn't going to miss it.
Holding on Denver on the kick return, nullifying that 33-yard return. They have a first down at their own 12-yard line. Their opening drive. Humphrey gets the call. He'll pick up 3. Denver's offense. Their offensive line will feature the Wydell brothers at the guard slots. Denver's main concern is to keep Kansas City's linebacker Derek Thomas out of Elway's face. Backs and receivers, the return of Mark Jackson, Vance Johnson, a wide receiver, Bobby Humphrey going for 1,000 yards. When Denver goes to 4 wide receivers, both running backs and the tight end will come out. Steve Sewell is back. He'll join Ricky Nattiel and Michael Young. Second and 8. Elway to throw. Pass is complete. First down just outside the 26-yard line to the tight end, Clarence K. Albert Lewis makes the tackle. A gain of 12 in the first down. Kansas City's defense, their defensive front 7, strengthened by the return of pass rusher extraordinaire, number 58, Derek Thomas. Chiefs secondary features perhaps the finest tandem of cornerbacks in the NFL. Number 29, Albert Lewis. Number 31, Kevin Ross.
Much of this game's dependent on Darrell Hamilton somehow handling Derek Thomas on the left side.
And here's Humphrey. 2, maybe 3 yards on the right side. Albert Lewis moves up from the cornerback. Let's check the 10-minute ticker, and we have some surprises waiting for you. Buffalo big over Indianapolis. Houston wallops Cleveland. San Francisco in overtime defeats Cincinnati. Pittsburgh over New England as expected. And the Giants defeat Minnesota. And that was closer than that final score. Seattle over Green Bay. And Phoenix downs Atlanta.
You know, Charlie, rarely do you talk to a coach, in this case Dan Reeves, about a game plan, and him relating it to Darrell Hamilton, his left tackle, and how he'll block Derek Thomas.
Elway goes deep, and he is too tall. We've got double flags. Vance Johnson, the intended receiver. Albert Lewis moved up on the coverage. Ron Cherry, the safety, had dropped over.
Pass interference, number 29 defense, automatic first down.
Denver's going to have to get a lot of breaks. This ball was thrown about 4 feet over the receiver's head, but the official calling it felt it was a catchable ball. Now you see a nice break. Now you watch Lewis close on it, but it's way up over the top, at least 2 feet over everybody's head. But it's an interpretation, Charlie, just an interpretation. Nice play fake. Higher than anybody could ever jump to catch it.
First down at the 40, Humphrey right side, and he will go to the 45. A gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5.
Denver's going to want to establish a running game. You hear that week after week by every coach. But they feel.
Why do you say that? Why do coaches say that?
It's conservative. They think they're playing rock hard, fundamental football. They don't want early mistakes. They want to get field position. But in this case, Darrell Hamilton, as a pass protector, makes it tough for Dan Reeves to call a pass. He's so concerned about Derek Thomas, number 58.
Second and 5.
Thomas is down, getting up a little bit slowly, or maybe just waiting for everybody else.
Humphrey with a little over a yard.
You see him coming down well to the inside and cutting the entire play down. Kerry Porter really couldn't make a block on him. He got underneath him so quickly. This guy is a force, and he beats his man early. So Dan Reeves, in talking about his passing game, wants to have a back ready in case Derek Thomas beats Hamilton real quick. They'll have a back there.
3rd and 3. Elway with time. Now he scrambles, and he is dropped at the 45.
Neil Smith, what an improved football player he is. Marty Schottenheimer says this guy is ascending rapidly into greatness as a football player. He'll come from the left side of the screen, coming off a block right there, and cutting Elway off where he had to go inside. But Neil Smith is one of those veteran players that's come of age under Marty Schottenheimer.
Mike Horan to kick. He is 3rd in the NFL. J.J. Burden, fair catch, scoops it in at the 17-yard line. We've got a timeout. The Chiefs have the lead, 7-0. Kansas City with a 7-0 lead. Opening drive, 49-yard touchdown pass to Berg to Page. And a first down for the Chiefs at their own 18-yard line. And Okoye off of the left side. And he will go to the 21, a gain of 3, so it'll be 2nd down and 7. Mecklenburg making the tackle. The 1990 quarterback rankings. And look how DeBerg ranks with other leading quarterbacks, all of whom he saw in passing through the 49ers, Tampa Bay, and Denver.
So many of them.
Most of them.
Look at Joe Montana. Of course, Joe's having a great year. But any number of people, John Elway, certainly, Testaverde. So this really points out that Steve's having a great year, among the very best in football in 1990.
Second down, Okoye, and he rolls close to the first down. He needed 7. He may have gotten it. Again, it is Carl Mecklenburg, who has moved back inside at linebacker. Says he likes it a lot better there. There's more action.
It's much better. The entire team agrees with it. Mecklenburg's at home. But that time, Steve Atwater came up and made a shot late to really cut it off. Mecklenburg moving laterally, gets part of it. Watch Atwater right up underneath everything. And Atwater having a great year. He personally, along with Mecklenburg, but primarily Atwater, stopped Okoye in that first game. And let's just see if they can do it again. That must hurt, getting underneath that 260 pounds, hammering right down the middle on you. Oh.
And as you saw, just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down, 4 or 5 inches to go.
The Chiefs are really a fully dimensional team now. Every situation that can come up in a ball game, they seem better prepared for at this point.
And notice number 61, the rookie taken in the 2nd round of the draft. Tim Grunhard, with that bad thumb, it's in a cast, is in at center. Webster was the starter. And we have movement in the offensive line.
Look like Cragen.
Encroachment, number 71 defense, 5 yards, first and 10.
Cragen came across and made contact, so it'll be a first down. This is the cast on the, basically for the thumb of Tim Grunhard, and the date on it is 10/27/90, and that is the day that his father Charles passed away. And he is dedicating not only this game, but the rest of the season to him. And when he came back, the next game, Mike Webster replaced him, gave him the game ball. And here is Okoye over the left side.
Every time Okoye gets that ball, Steve DeBerg is faking beautifully the other way. And of course, we know that as the game progresses, he'll come out of there with the ball after an excellent fake to Okoye and try to make a big play out of it. So they've got Okoye going one way, taking the ball, and DeBerg faking the other way. And so far this year, most teams haven't fathomed that very well. Sooner or later, DeBerg keeps the ball and comes up with a play.
2nd down and 8.
That was tight. Now, that's not where to throw it on Wyman Henderson. That he can do. He reads the quarterback very well. DeBerg took 3 quick steps, but look at Henderson on the right of the screen. That ball starts, and he starts. So he's there as quickly as Rob Thomas was trying to make the reception. That's one thing Henderson will do. He'll jump on the quarterback throwing the ball. What you need to do with Wyman, I hate to pick on him, but get him running because he doesn't have closing speed.
3rd and 8 at the 35. Kansas City leading 7-0. Pass is complete right at the 40-yard line to Todd McNair, but he is dropped immediately by Steve Atwater, and Kansas City will be about between 2 and 3 yards shy of the first down, so Brian Barker will come in to kick it away.
Atwater's tackling ability really makes a difference because when he hits a guy, he stops it. And that time as a nickel linebacker, his job was to cover McNair, and he just timed his tackle to stop McNair from running for that extra 2 yards. Kevin Atwater really a factor for Denver, and he's one of the people still playing very, very well.
Vance Johnson is the return man. He has the fair catch at the 25-yard line. He is returning in place of Kevin Clark, who is inactive because of an ankle and a knee injury. 34 yards on the kick, and we've got a flag drop back at the 45-yard line. Kansas City crowd very quiet. Penalty against Broncos. I'm not sure they're used to being in this position, and so they don't know how to react. But they're leading 7-0 over a hated rival, and they're just kind of staring and watching.
They're waiting for the 4th quarter. I don't know, but they're favorites.
During the kick, number 22 receiving team. 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
They're favorites, and I'm not sure they're used to a typical winning ball game.
We'll be back in just of the Denver Broncos. Ken Lanier, the right tackle, a 10-year veteran. Look at his experience in games and starts against the rest of that offensive line.
You know, the problem with the rest of that offensive line, maybe they may not have the talent either. Aside from the experience, there may not be great talent there, and I'm sure that has Dan Reese concerned.
Elway to throw. Trailing 7-0. High, incomplete. Mark Jackson, the intended receiver. Albert Lewis. Are they picking on Albert Lewis?
Well,
they don't go to that side.
It's to the right. Maybe it's easier to go over there, but no one can pick on Albert Lewis or Kevin Ross, but especially Lewis. That time, Dino Hackett was right in the position in his zone where he belonged, and he just came right up and made a play on the ball. So the zone defense of the Chiefs is making it tough on Elway. That time, John T's ball late, and so everybody knew where it was going.
Bobby Humphrey, the remaining back, it is 2nd and 10. Pass complete to Johnson, and he goes down immediately. Lost his balance at about the 17.
Number 58 was coming up the field, and he is blazing fast. And you'll see Hamilton push him by, and this is the game plan that's so darn important. Mike Shanahan talking with him, the quarterback coach, before the game. They want Elway to get the ball off and get it off quickly. Never a deep drop, because that just allows Thomas to beat Hamilton. That time, Hamilton was in between the quarterback and the pass rusher, so Thomas couldn't get there.
3rd down and 8 at the 17. Now the crowd getting into the game. Flag is down.
Hamilton moved, Charlie.
Darrell Hamilton, the left tackle.
Ball scored, 69 offense.
It's understandable. Bless his heart, he's got to come out of there and pick up the fastest pass rusher in the league today, and he's not a real quick man and certainly not a highly skilled guy either.
When we talked with Dan Reeves yesterday, he said his concern, the speed rusher.
Yep. The speed rusher against a slower, younger player. Hamilton is 6'5", 300, but he's Sugar Ray Leonard he's in there with. He's so quick.
Yeah, hits him, he's gone. 3rd and 13. Thomas now on the other side. Elway has the protection. He goes deep. Pass is complete. And he goes to Shannon Sharp. Sharp will be a wide receiver and a tight end. And that is only his 4th reception of the year.
Right. Elway waited for the zone defense to clear. Then he threw it right up along the sidelines to Sharp. But Sharp's courage really shows up here. He knows he's going to hit. He's got Duron Cherry right down his throat, and he held on to the ball. Clears to the outside against Ross. There's a hole in the defense. Here comes Cherry exploding into him. Cherry got up a little slower. He's not even up.
Fourth quarter score, Houston 58.
We have a timeout. The Chiefs lead at 7-0. They are a much more physical team. Well, you saw the physical hit, but he was the one who ended up being stunned.
You know, he just gave it everything he had and probably twisted his neck. He's a fascinating guy. He's as bright a football player as I've ever met. And we can talk about that as the game progresses.
Jeff Donaldson is replacing.
He really has this Denver team and everybody fully scouted.
Elway, a play-action fake. It is bobbled and incomplete. Shannon Sharp, the man who just caught the 27-yard pass down the sideline, converting a 3rd and 13. Could not pull this one in.
Elway's throwing late, and part of it's because he's getting a pass rush that's giving him some problem. But you see how open Sharp is. Now just catch the ball. He wants to run with it, obviously, before he's got it. And you just can't do that. You need that possession pass. That 8 to 10 yard gain, whenever it's there, you have to get it done.
And Percy Snow of the Chiefs is shaken up on the play, and a 10-yard penalty against the Broncos.
Dan is concerned. That is so tough to be with 3 wins. Then things start going against you. The breaks of the game start going against you.
While they're examining Percy Snow, let's check the 10-minute ticker. Buffalo stays in the hunt, of course, for the Super Bowl berth. Big game next Saturday against the Giants. Houston, that's the largest, most points they've ever scored. And a rundown of all the others. These, of course, are the games earlier with Pittsburgh winning. The Giants came from behind with 13 unanswered points to win their ball game.
That will be as close, Charlie, as you can get to a preview of a Super Bowl is Buffalo and the Giants. The Giants may not be the best team in the NFC, but they're one of the big, physical, strong teams. They could very well be a champion, and Buffalo may be the best in the AFC. So they'll play, and we'll have a good look at comparing the 2 conference best teams, or the highest echelon of play.
And one of the interesting points of that game, I think, from Buffalo's standpoint, is they will have an opportunity to play one of the top NFC teams in the NFC stadium, and should they get to the Super Bowl, then it won't be the mystique will not be there that you have if you don't have that experience.
Well, Buffalo was able to hold out and beat Philadelphia a week ago. Now, if they can do the same thing with the Giants, that's got to mean they can stand up to the 49ers, the Giants, or anyone else in the Super Bowl. So that'll be a great game.
And again today, they both won today. Buffalo over Indianapolis, and the Giants 23-15. And NFL Live?
Because they're going to do whatever it takes to win. They've made up their mind. So Parcells, among others, is a logical candidate. I just think Bill has too much affection for New York, for his team, to leave it and go somewhere else.
Elway to Bobby Humphrey. Dumps it right over the middle. He'll get 11 yards as he goes to the 40-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 as he got the penalty +1 back. Kevin Ross with the tackle. Denver, by the way, already has been penalized 5 times for 40 yards. The Chiefs once for 13.
Humphrey is having a good year. Not quite what last year's was, but a good year.
And another Kansas City player is down. That's Kevin Ross.
They can't afford to lose these guys for very long. Hackett doesn't make the tackle. Beautiful job of running.
Kevin Ross making the tackle, and does he get that leg bent back?
It must be. They can't afford to lose someone like this for any period of time, because the cornerbacks are the very basis of the game in a championship contest, because 1 or 2 plays will win or lose it. It didn't look like it was hit and turn that badly.
And there's Duron Cherry, who was shaken up a moment ago. He'll be back. That's the report that we have.
There's the stop.
Kevin Ross.
Very difficult to see.
Well, then a Chief see it. Oh, on his right leg. One of the, I think one of his teammates came over the top and bent it back.
Well, he's moving, so. But Deron Cherry, his knowledge of the opposition.
It's awesome, isn't it?
He mesmerizes me. He talks about every tendency by formation, by down and distance, and what a guy to have on your team. It's just, I guess you could say, a brilliant mind playing defense. You'd like to think he'd be a coach, but he may have bigger and better things in mind.
Meanwhile,
he
Denver
wants your job, Charlie.
You'll get it, too. You know that. Denver trailing 7-0. Second and 9 at their own 40. Four-man right. Right side pass is complete to Clarence Kay.
One of the real underestimated players on the Chiefs team is Chris Martin, who was in the coverage that time from a linebacker spot.
When the Chiefs go to a nickel, Derek Thomas moves to defensive end. The two inside linebackers come out. Stan Petrie replaces one of them. Then in the secondary, J.C. Pearson comes in at corner. Lloyd Burris is a strong safety, but most of the time he'll function more like an additional linebacker. Third down.
Look out, Thomas.
And Derek Thomas has his first sack in the last 4 games. He has his 16th on the year.
Just pure speed and quickness. And Elway out of the shotgun is much more vulnerable to Thomas because he knows where the ball's going. And when that ball is snapped back, Thomas has a target to go for. So in this case, Hamilton just can't stay with him. Finally grabs him and holds on, and he still doesn't get the job done.
J.J. Burton at the 19 to the 25. Great move at the 26-yard line, out to the 35, the 40, the 42-yard line.
Now the crowd's into it, Charlie. Thomas exploding up the field, pure speed. Now you'll see Hamilton try to hold him, but if Elway takes the ball in a shotgun, Thomas knows just where to rush. That's why in this case, I think taking the ball from a snap from center is better. Then Thomas doesn't know exactly where to go.
This is updated today, the NFL sack leaders. That, by the way, for Kansas City, second of the ball game, 50th of the year. They lead the NFL, and it ties a team record. 23 yards on the return. Barry Word is in at running back for Kansas City, and he has 4 to the 45.
You know, in a sense, the Barry Word situation is an advantage to him. Okoye sort of softens them up, and Word sees where he's running and where the holes are. Coach is talking to him, so when he takes the field, he's got a darn good idea where to take the ball.
And he has been awesome the last 3 games, 254 yards.
Well, he runs with power and speed.
Second and 6. 54 seconds left, first period. And Word to this side may have the first down.
That's where Word is the toughest, where he starts up inside, then bends to the outside, and that play was by design. They pull their guard, they slipped outside, and you notice a 5-yard gain on just a routine play, and that's what this guy's been doing, 5.8. That tells us.
Randy Robbins with the tackle. And they'll bring the chains across for the measurement.
Well, now we'll get that.
Ball start, 77 offense, 5 yards, still third down.
Now we'll get that 4-wide receiver set with McNair. And McNair is such a big factor now, number 48, because he's combination pass receiver and pass protection blocker. And if Denver could get Humphrey to do what McNair does, in the sense of being part of their passing game, I think Humphrey would be a much more dimensional player. But right now, McNair is a very, very fine third down back.
Got down to the end of the first quarter. And the gun sounds exactly with the snap. That is the end of the first quarter. Chiefs lead at 7 in all of the offensive schemes.
Well, there's got to be some knowledge there. There are a few coaches that have seen their last days on the field, but look at that thing. Number 4, Bill Walsh, he broke an NFL record with us for completions. And so Steve has had an excellent background, and it's so great to see him overcome all of us coaches and become one of the best quarterbacks in football.
Also, he said he is putting together, he's got all the playbooks, everything collected. He's going to put together the ultimate offensive playbook.
I'd try to steal it from him if I could.
And he throws. It is tipped incomplete. Good defensive coverage by Alton Montgomery.
If he comes up with that book, it may be the best thing that football has seen, because he has been in some great systems. Tom Landry, certainly Schottenheimer, and I think ours was pretty good at San Francisco. Steve is probably the best in football in his knowledge of the game and his application of it on the field.
And he said the key, I'm going to keep it simple.
He's going to keep it simple. That eliminated the 49ers.
Here's Barker with the kick. Vance Johnson is the return man. He takes it at the 12, and he'll step out with about a 4-yard return. Now, with Cincinnati and Houston and Pittsburgh in that three-way logjam at 7-6.
I think the AFC is really coming on late in the year. A lot of teams are showing up very strong. The Bengals today, Houston, any number of teams.
Bobby Humphrey from the 17 to the 20. He has 3. It'll be second down and 7. Here we have an injury report on Percy Snow of the Chiefs. Knee bruise will return on Kevin Ross of the Chiefs. Knee injury status is undetermined. Bobby Humphrey, the only running back to gain more than 100 yards against Kansas City this year. He has 13 today in 5 carries.
And he's running, Charlie, he's running behind just a fair offensive line at this point, so a lot of it he has to get himself.
And here is Humphrey. Defense screens him out. And it'll be no gain.
That's Porter made a great support move, but Percy Snow finished that play off. Now that Denver's going to pitch the ball to the outside, and everybody starts going for it. And Denver's hoping they're pulling linemen get out there, but they're all cut off. Now watch this, and watch that hit by Snow all the way to the outside. Now this is why they drafted Snow. He is a menacing hitter, and it's taken him longer than some other guys to really fit in, because he had a different style of defense at Michigan State.
Kevin Ross back in the game. He has man coverage on the tail. 3rd sack for the Chiefs. Chris Martin gets this one.
Well, Elway is determined not to make a mistake that'll destroy their chances to win the game. He started to run 3 times now, and they really haven't been sacks because he started running to avoid throwing the interception. So very good defense, but Elway, on the other hand, is using real good instincts here. He doesn't want to take a chance with that interception. Unless Kansas City gets in the end zone quick, Denver, the longer it goes, with just a 7-point lead, the better chance Elway has to come back.
Mike Horan to kick. J.J. Burden is the return man. DeBerg said Burden is a game breaker. He takes it at the 45. He's to the 50. He's out of bounds. It's a nice return, but he doesn't break any games on that one. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
It's a physical game. Denver never lets up. You know that.
First down, Kansas City. Denver 46-yard line. Kansas City leading 7. A little slow on the exchange and a fumble, and Denver has the ball. Cragen falls on it.
Looked like DeBerg pulled away from the center before he had the ball. And then everybody sort of panicked trying to find it. But Denver needs these kind of breaks. That's why the dominant team, the playoff team, has got to get in that end zone or get points on the board. These are the kind of things that let somebody come back and upset them.
Kansas City best in the NFL in turnovers, plus 22. And the exchange was just never made.
And Wood had taken his eye off the ball and was looking up the field.
So Denver at their own 48-yard line, first down, 52 yards away from the end zone, trailing 7-0. And Elway throws, and he is on target far side to Mark Jackson. That is the first fumble recovery in the last 6+ games for the Denver Broncos. Their opponents had fumbled 9 times, that being the 10th. of the 9 previous ones, they were not able to recover anyone. So maybe that the tide is beginning to turn for the Broncos.
Well, it could. That was a well-executed play, the last one. Elway faked well and timed his out pattern. And Denver, there's Wade, of course, who had a brutal time, if you remember, against Detroit. But on the other hand, is a real solid fundamental coach. He's done a very, very good job there.
First down at the Kansas City 42. Here's Bobby Humphrey. And he just angles for the sideline, and then there's a flag. And now another flag. Some pushing and shoving. I'm sure some jawing is going on.
Kevin Porter had a chance to make a big stop, and he missed the tackle. Humphrey is so nimble, just stepped right over the top of it.
12:09 is the time remaining in the first half. Kansas City leading 7-0. Opening drive, 84 yards in 5 plays. DeBerg to Stephon Page, 49 yards for the touchdown. And for Stephon Page, that extended his modest streak to 77 consecutive games with a reception.
Holding, number 80 on the offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 57 defense. The penalties nullify each other. Repeat first down.
Chris Martin of Kansas City, Mark Jackson of Denver. And a reason that I say that it's a modest streak, of course, Steve Largent has the NFL record of 177, so he's quite a ways away. And we'll go back with the ball at the Kansas City 42-yard line and a first down.
This Bill Cowher, the defensive coordinator, standing next to our left of Marty, and he's done an excellent job. A young, very, very bright coach. And the players follow him as they do Marty. Excellent coaching staff.
Shannon Sharp is the wide receiver on the near side. And the give is to Bobby Humphrey. Kevin Porter with
Derek
the tackle.
Thomas, Charlie came flying in from the backside and finished the play off. That quickness he's got, they couldn't touch him. But watch him come down the line of scrimmage and just use that blazing speed and come right to the ball. And so you know he's behind you. And it's tough to cut back, he'll be there. This guy has become one of the great ones in the game. The best thing to do, I think, is run right at him. He's not that big.
Second and 9. Elway with pressure, throws, passes complete. Close to the first down. Clarence Kay, the tight end. And Ron Cherry was the man who brought him down. Now let's check the Xerox 10-minute ticker. And it's an afternoon of field goals everywhere else. Chicago over Washington 3-0. New Orleans and the Rams tied at 3. And here it is Kansas City 7 and Denver 0. With 10:42 and counting time remaining in the second quarter. Elway 7 of 8 for 74 yards, quietly moving the ball clock. And has a first down. And has another first down inside the 20-yard line as Mark Jackson goes up and pulls it down. Albert Lewis was there for Kansas City.
Elway was well protected, and he took his time and leaned into the throw, which he can do so beautifully. Everything's picked up, and now it's tough to catch his ball. He throws a real sharp, hard ball, and guys like Jackson have to really get acquainted with his kind of throw. It's a completely different pass than, say, Steve DeBerg throws. It gets there quick, but it's tougher to handle.
Mark Jackson, elusive and strong. That is the quote on his ability. And here's Humphrey. Gain of 3 to the 16. It'll be second down and 7. Bill Moss making the stop.
Doug Rydell, the right guard, pulled and really hit Derek Thomas, who was sitting in there playing that trap. But Rydell did a fine job, and Thomas didn't like it. They really gave each other some problems with it. And this is what you have to do with Thomas. You'll see the pull coming to the outside, down the line of scrimmage, and the trap. Right there is where the hit's made.
Elway, a timing pattern, incomplete.
Oh, that was close.
become a key receiver for Elway was the intended one. Kevin Porter had the coverage.
It looked as though Porter got a little desperate right at the end of that play. But more importantly, on the back side of the play, Derek Thomas was pass rushing, and Denver had two people on him. They had the running back and the tackle, and they picked him up just in time. So the strategy is to put two people, whenever you're throwing the ball down the field, against Derek Thomas.
And Porter got away with the pro move, had his hands on his back inside, so the officials couldn't see him. He was doing a pushing and shoving.
So true.
At the 11-yard line, the pass is complete to Michael Young. Lloyd Burris is there to bring him down. Young, 15 receptions in the last 4 games, had only 3 before that. And when we talked with him yesterday, remember he had the flu last week. He was really hurting, had that great fourth quarter, said he could hardly move, but he feels good for this ball game.
He's a good possession receiver, much like Neil Harry is for Kansas City.
He was describing all of the other receivers, citing great hands, great athletic ability, and he said, I'm dependable. I want to be exciting in a game right now. Here's a 27-yard field goal. High snap, and we've got flags and whistles.
Well, that was Dino Moss, and the Chiefs thought they had something because remember they just a couple of the guys just sort of intimated when we talked about blocked field goal that Moss was going to have a big day blocking a field goal.
Defense, nose guard, 5 yards, first down.
Dino had something, or excuse me, Bill had something that he knew would be there. And you see him try to slip inside to get there quick and couldn't make it.
Could have been the offensive center. Sometimes they would just kind of flex their hands just enough for the veins to pop out, and they'll go on.
Well, Moss thought he had a block. The coaches thought he had a block.
The ball at the 5. First and goal. Kerry Porter and Bobby Humphrey, the running back. Elway to throw, loops it into the corner. And a flag is down in the corner, and it's a touchdown. Shannon Sharpe. That is his first NFL touchdown.
Kevin Ross just let him get a jump on him, and then he had to just play the receiver and not the ball. So one way or the other, that was going to be at least to the 1-yard line with pass interference. Little communication between the officials.
And what a moment that is.
Pass interference, number 31 defense. That penalty will be declined. We have a touchdown.
Now you can see Kevin Ross was really desperate, and he let Sharpe get a jump on him and couldn't do much about it. There's a release starting in, bending out. Now you see Ross loses a step. Now it might be that slight injury he had earlier. So he lost his step, and then he just had to play only the receiver.
And Shannon Sharpe, who has been a special teams leader, has his touchdown, and the extra point is wide left. Was it even close from there? 20. And is hit at the 25 and down. Lilo Lang is the man who brought him down. Kick off your night on NBC with all new specials and a world premiere movie. First, get on the holiday spirit with the animated special, The Chipmunks Rocking Through the Decade, followed by the popular live-action Saturday morning show, Saved by the Bell in prime time. Then spend an hour with Robert Redford and Sidney Pollack, the men in their movies, followed by an NBC world premiere movie based on a true story, Good Cops, Bad Cops, starring Ed Asner and Ray Sharkey, tonight only on NBC. City from their own 25-yard line, first down. A fumble, and DeBerg falls on it, and it was the fumble on the exchange to the running back that Denver recovered that set up their touchdown drive as Cragen fell on it.
It appears that his pulling guard, Zott, picked the ball out of his hand just slightly. I think it was alt number 76 pulling to his right, and Steve didn't protect the ball. Now you see on both people pulling, no, it was Zott. Steve didn't have that ball protected, and his guard knocked the ball out. Well, that's 2 plays in a row, isn't it, Charlie?
Yes, it is.
2 mishandled plays, and you haven't done that all year. This is the kind of thing that spells upset. Again, you've got to get in the end zone early against a team like Denver. You've got to force Elway to have to throw, then you can tee off on him. But right now at 7-6, Elway's got all his options.
2nd and 17. Chiefs at their own 18-yard line. Jerry Word is the running back. And we have flags, but no whistle, and then we'll have the whistle. As Ron Holmes was way offside, the question, of course, is was he drawn?
Well, Ron came close to an unsportsmanlike conduct there because he heard the whistle and he was still going for Elway.
For DeBerg.
Did I say?
That's right, I did too.
Encroachment, defense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
Now you'll see him come off the ball, number 90. He's clearly offside. Nobody can block him. Now he's still after Steve DeBerg, and that's tight because he heard that whistle.
So with the penalty, the ball goes to the 23-yard line, and it is 2nd down and 12. A look at the penalty, 45 yards to 23. And DeBerg has pressure. He gets it off. It is low, and it is incomplete, just outside the 30-yard line to Emil Harry.
A week ago, no pass rush out of Denver, and the Raiders had all day to throw. On that play, there was some heat put on. Lucas, number 59, did very well, certainly Fletcher, but they're getting push on DeBerg, and he has to throw quickly. Well, look at that. He had to get rid of the ball.
Simon Fletcher, number 73, when we talked to him yesterday, he has bought John Elway's old house. And I said, are you making any change? He said, well, the wallpaper's not quite right, and we're adding a barbecue in the back. He said, because when Elway had a barbecue, he always had it catered.
Everything was catered. But Elway moved up a notch, and in came Fletcher, and then he'll move up a notch.
Flags are down. It is a free play. It is going to be a 1st down for Kansas City. Todd McNair out to the 45-yard line.
No one covered him.
Atwater finally made the stop. I was wondering if Denver was looking for a whistle for the play to be stopped with a flag.
That could have been a factor, but Atwater normally covering McNair allowed him to break inside.
7-7 defense, penalty decline, 1st down.
So we didn't see Atwater on his man, which he's, I'm sure, been rehearsing all week. You see McNair on the left coming up the field and then breaking across. Atwater's in a zone. Everybody else is in a man. What apparently happened there was a miscommunication after Kansas City came out of the huddle. Whatever calls were made, blown coverage. You can see, Dan concerned about that, because that kills you.
Gain of 23, 1st down at the 46-yard line. Kansas City up by 1, 7-6.
There's that bootleg.
Great fake. And the pass is a little tall for Rob Thomas.
Everything set up. It was all there. Called at just the right time. And it looks as though DeBerg led Thomas just too far. Faking was very good. You'll see DeBerg faking and now keeping that ball after that one-handed fake. No one there. And there's a throw just a little too far outside. Now, Thomas, a lot of people would have caught that ball. And as fine an athlete as Thomas is, he didn't absorb it.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. Mike Webster is back in at offensive center for Kansas City. The number on DeBerg. And here is Word. And Barry will go to the 49-yard line. He'll have 3, so it'll be 3rd down and 7. Carl Mecklenburg with the tackle.
It's good to see Mike Webster back in the game because he's such an interesting and colorful guy. He checks back and blocks Holmes. Now, Word is so good at this because his speed is deceptive. He's much faster and stronger than you'd think.
The combined experience now of the center, Mike Webster, and the quarterback, Steve DeBerg. 31 years, 409 games, 321 starts.
Well, that's a lot of football. Both guys are expert.
A lot of football?
Well,
that's an understatement.
Well, I tried. Is that a cliche?
No. I just think that it's
but you know,
it's awesome.
Webster is such a student of the game. His wisdom as a football player has helped Grunhard and the rest of the offensive line. He's going to make an excellent coach if he so decides.
Third down and 7. Incomplete. He was going to Emil Harry. And Kip Corrington had the coverage. It'll be fourth down.
There was more heat on DeBerg these last two passes. Denver's generated, I bet, in a number of games recently.
So Brian Barker will be kicking for Kansas City.
For Kansas City.
You see 5:50 time remaining first half. Vance Johnson, fair catch, and he takes it at the 15-yard line. Denver has the ball. Kansas City has the lead. Here in Kansas City, 7-6 with the missed extra point. Will be starting from their own 15-yard line. This is their fourth offensive possession. They have started the 12, the 15, the turnover at their own 47-yard line. That is the one that they moved in to score on. Missed the extra point now from their 15. Good play fake by Elway. He rolls and throws, and coming back down the sideline is Vance Johnson right at the first down marker. Albert Lewis had the coverage.
That's why that particular play is why Denver has done so well over the years. Elway timing that pass to Johnson that looked like it didn't have a chance. It was a good fake in here by John coming outside. Now Johnson has to come right back toward him to make the stop. He was 20 yards down the field. He plants and comes running right back at John Elway, so the defender just can't get close to the ball.
And did one of the Chiefs get a hand on the football? Looked as if one of the linebackers did.
They had.
And deflected it just a bit, but the pass still was successful.
But John's strong arm, and then his receivers sprinting people deep down the field, then coming right back down the line after the ball.
And picking up the first down. When we talked with Dan Reeves yesterday, he said, last time we had a year like this, we got John Elway.
Well, I've spoken with him, and it's not much consolation right now, but they're setting themselves up to have a great season next year, an early draft choice, regrouping during the year, everybody rededicated, and I think they'll come back and have a super year in 91.
Elway, 11 of 13, 180 yards with Bobby Humphrey.
That was a move.
And he'll pick up 9 yards on the play. Porter with the tackle.
Now that is quickness. I'm sure that he doesn't really think about it. Humphrey doesn't really think about it. But now watch this move. Start out quick. And he takes a guy like Ross, a fine cornerback, and he gets an extra 5 yards on him on that move. So this is a guy that's going to be there for many years and get that 1,000-yard season year after year.
Time he is stopped. Kansas City was waiting for him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down.
Bill Moss did a fine job of just breaking down the tackle of Darrell Hamilton, just physically taking him down inside and cutting off the ball carrier. He couldn't go anywhere. This is the big, solid, massive guy that you need to play that position.
And he has made the move from inside nose tackle to a step or two outside and has really been successful. And that's a hard move to make. And Humphrey this time will pick up the first down as he just plows through right behind his right guard. And let's check the 10-minute ticker and update the other late scores. Chicago with another field goal, now leading 6-0. Jim Everett scored a touchdown. The Rams are up 10-3 in that ball game.
This time of year, Charlie, this is the toughest. The weather's going to start getting bad. Then you have back-to-back games against tough opponents, and the real character of teams shows up.
First down, Denver at their own 37-yard line. Kansas City leads by 1, 7-6. Elway turns back and fires to Vance Johnson, and Johnson has the first down into Chiefs territory around the Kansas City 48-yard line. So he's going to pick up about 15 before Kevin Porter makes the tackle.
This is a great job of drilling the ball into the backside. Elway goes to his left. Johnson starts in and slides out into the hole. Then Elway drills the ball. Really, very few quarterbacks can do what Elway does. Going left, pivoting, and throwing back so accurately to the right.
How do you stop Elway?
Oh, gee. You just have to have some patience and tackle the receivers.
3 on the draw. Very casual as he was looking around trying to fake Kansas City. They didn't buy it. He'll pick up a yard. Saliamua with the stop, number 97. Earlier this year, he was trying to teach me that Samoan war dance. Up from 1 foot. Then he gave up. He said I wasn't coordinated enough to do it. He's a nice man.
He is a good guy. And he can do a lot of things. They even drop him back into his zone defense against the pass on occasion. He's the ideal nose guard. He's 6 foot, 300 pounds.
2-minute warning. The Chiefs a big following among the youngsters here in the Midwest. So they had a contest of grade school kids for drawings, and they used these drawings on the tickets. And this is today's ticket. All right, that's good. Total yards: Denver 136, Kansas City 136. Closest the score 7-6. Elway's throwing this one away is what he was doing. And then Shannon Sharp almost made the play. But he was just getting rid of it. He was out of time.
Shannon can explode. He accelerated to that ball. It looked like an impossible catch. Now, this is your veteran quarterback. Much as Steve DeBerg is for Kansas City, Elway knows just when he has to get rid of a ball. And Sharp missed by a half an inch, maybe, of coming up with something.
Sharp with 2 receptions, 32 yards in his first NFL touchdown. He only had 1 in. The second one was out, and of course that's the reason they called it incomplete. And it goes back to 3rd and 9 at the original line of scrimmage. Away over the middle. Vance Johnson with a full head of steam inside the Kansas City 22-yard line.
That's the first blitz I've seen Kansas City run. It was picked up. Elway kept his poise, hit his crossing receiver. You'll see Elway in the shotgun, and you'll see people coming up from all over the place. And that puts poor Pearson, number 24, in a foot race with Johnson, and he can't stay with him. And as Johnson, a smart runner, he just used every bit of speed he had along that sideline, not stopping to dodge somebody.
And that was 3rd and 9, a gain of 25, and the first down conversion just inside the Kansas City 23-yard line. Out of time remaining in the half, 1:47, second quarter. Flag is down. Elway with all the time in the world. This one is incomplete. As Vance Johnson went up for it, couldn't pull it down. We'll go back to the flag.
Looks like Bill Moss was jumping again. Elway does a beautiful job with the snap count, his cadence. Everybody on that Kansas City team knows it. And DeBerg equally is good.
DeBerg is
Number 63 in the defense. 5 yards, first down.
That's on Moss.
Yeah.
But DeBerg is known for the hard count, but Elway is coming back with it today.
Elway in the past, everybody's been so damned upset at him and Dan Reeves because Elway used to use his shoulders and his helmet to get people to move. But they cut that out of it, and he still can do it with his voice.
Well, they call it the Bob Greasy rule, because Bob would do it with a head bob. Little head bob, and everybody would.
Bob ought to be ashamed of himself.
He is. He told me he is. Little play action, rolling right, throwing into bad pass, and Clarence K was wide open. Wasn't a Jeep within 7 yards of him, and you won't see that happen with Elway. He knows it. He's the first one to know it.
Well, when you run parallel to the receiver, the ball always will stay out in front of both of you. So when John threw it, that ball just stayed clear to the outside. You almost have to throw it right at the receiver when you're running parallel with him.
2nd and 5.
That was something. Those are the kind of plays that drive the coaches crazy because they set those plays up with their other calls, and then if you don't get it done, it's tough to come back to.
This is the 10th play of the drive. Remember, we noted it. It started back at the Denver 15, and this is incomplete. Mark Jackson, the intended receiver. Now, he and the tight end Clarence K were in the same neighborhood. Did they miss a route?
Well, it could have been very much some kind of a pick play with one man sort of scraping the defender off the other man. You see Jackson coming up the field, and there comes his man right by it. Now, I would think Jackson's job was to cut off Hayes' defender, but it didn't time out well.
3rd and 5. Elway looked as if he wanted to hand off on a draw, then he throws in the end zone, and it's a touchdown.
What a play receiver.
And Michael Young.
Oh, yeah. Michael kept both feet, like two bodies. The bottom part didn't move, and the top part had to catch the ball. But Elway's spontaneous plays. He starts left on a fake, then comes outside, and look at the throw. Perfect throw, perfect catch.
And watch the feet.
The Chiefs have failed to put him out. You know, the Chiefs had, with that first touchdown, had Denver on the ropes and failed to get it done. This is much like the Raiders did a week ago. The Raiders sort of fortunately won, but Denver just isn't going to quit.
And the dancing toes of Michael Young. And that is so hard to do, to keep the feet in bounds when everything else is moving. And this extra point is good, but just barely on the right side. So Denver takes the lead, 85 yards on the drive in 11 plays, and Rich Goins is on that billboard in Denver hoping for a Bronco victory so he can come down.
Left, trying to pull the pass rush left. There it is, looking that way. Now coming outside, see pass protectors waiting for their man. Now watch John throw on the run. This is where his great talent lies, being able to throw on the run. He's done it every year of his career, going all the way back to high school. But look at this. And there's a shot there with Reeves. The two of them are communicating now where they may not have been early in the year.
Todd McNair on the kickoff return. In fact, yesterday there was a 4 o'clock meeting on Saturday afternoon, and we waited to see Dan. And I said, what are they doing meeting at 4 o'clock? And you pointed out that was the communication that he's working now more and more with Elway. And pretty soon John's going to say, though, I'm tired of going to meetings.
A lot of meetings.
A lot of meetings.
He may have to go to the press on his meeting times, yeah. But Mike Shanahan does a nice job with the quarterback. But Dan Reeves now is a factor, so they bridged whatever gaps developed. That's why I think 1991 will be a great year for Denver.
Kansas City first down, their own 27-yard line. DeBerg just drops it over the middle to Todd McNair. McNair out to the 50-yard line. He has 23 on the play before Kip Corrington can stop him. Moving on the 1-minute mark, time remaining in the first half.
Steve Atwater, that's his coverage man, and Steve was lagging way behind McNair. He's being fooled by something.
And DeBerg throws on target, 41-yard line. And that is Rob Thomas. Randy Robbins covers him immediately. And Kansas City will take a timeout to stop the clock with 51 seconds. We'll see you in a second. Check it in one. J.J. Burton, the intended receiver. And Lilo Lang.
Someone has juiced up that front four for Denver, because this week they're so much quicker, more aggressive, and determined on going to the passer. A week ago, they weren't doing it. But guys like Holmes, number 90, he has been a force so far today. No question about it.
They're down and 1.
This is the one area Denver thinks they must improve is pass rushers. And an early draft choice, we can talk about later, might be over in Boulder, one of those linebackers.
Here's the first down. And looking to see if the Chiefs stop the clock. And they're going, they had already called the second play. The ball at the 37-yard line. The pass flag is down. Rob Thomas on the receiving end. Steve Atwater there for Denver.
A lot of poise by Steve DeBerg. Right in the thick of that combat.
We have illegal use of the hands by the defense. The ball is very close to a first down. I will measure it before I give the captain his option.
So they're so close. With 21 seconds, DeBerg's got a chance to get the ball, at least go for the end zone a couple of times.
And he wants to save a timeout. And the ball at the 27-yard line. You go to the end zone here?
I would go to the end zone on the first play.
Second down and 1. seconds remaining, and a gain of 12.
JJ, what a development he has been. Marty Schottenheimer having so much confidence in him. A tragic knee injury in Cleveland that all but injured his career. Then being waived by Cleveland on the Dallas developmental squad, back to Kansas City, released, now brought back, and he's become a real football player. You can see, obviously, no problem with his knees at this point, but he brings real speed to that offensive team. Plus, all these kinds of people that Carl Peterson has pulled together.
Thomas, outstanding ability, and there's no question about JJ. He is a game breaker.
He can really go.
First down at the 15-yard line. 1 timeout remaining. 12 seconds remaining. You throw to the end zone, and then you go for the field goal. Here's the play into the end zone, and what happened here is that Thomas broke it off to the left. DeBerg read that he was going to break it to the right. What happened? Look at the smile.
Yeah.
Hey.
See, now he's going to try to explain it in a friendly way. But Rob Thomas, I'm sure there was a hand signal or some kind of a helmet signal with a nod of his head telling Thomas to go to the post because DeBerg saw something in the defense. And Thomas didn't spot it. That's my guess.
And here is Nick Lowry. He has hit his last 13 field goals in a row. And this will be from 33 yards away, well within his range.
This could be the best in the business right here.
Well, I think he is. And it is good from 33 yards away. And Kansas City pulls within 3. Denver leads 13-10. And we still have 3 seconds left in the first. And of the previous 10 times that they have led at half, they have only won 3. They've lost 7. So they have really been outscored by more than 100 points in the second half, totaling up all their ball games.
Back that he would stay up there until the Broncos won a game. They've lost 3 in a row with Rich on the billboard, 5 in a row overall, their longest losing streak since the days when Lou Saban was their coach and Steve Tensey was their quarterback back in 1967. Rich, it's an uncommonly warm day for December in Denver, so in that case you caught a break, and I guess a lot of folks had nothing better to do than to come out and salute you in the warm weather today.
This is your big fan club down here, Bob. I'm just glad I don't live in New England.
Yeah, because who knows when their drought might end. They've lost a franchise record 11 in a row. But you know this fact, Rich, and I hate to dampen your spirits here, but the Broncos, with a record of 3-9, have had the halftime lead in 10 of their first 12 games this year, and they have lost all but 3 of those games.
That's when they were behind 7-6, Bob. I was hoping that the Broncos wouldn't score touchdowns, maybe use a little reverse psychology and go in with a halftime, trailing by 1, and maybe they'd come out and blow the Chiefs out in the second half. With halftime leads, they're not very good.
Now, Rich, suppose the Broncos do hold on and win today, and I got a feeling that missed extra point after the Shannon Sharp touchdown might come back to haunt you. They'd be up by 4 now instead of 3, and if this thing goes overtime, you're going to be thinking about that David Treadwell miss all week long as you sit up there. But suppose they do win. What's the first thing you're going to do when you come down?
When I come down, I'm going to take a bath, Bob. I need one bad. Look at this, man. I grew this just for you, and I'm looking bad.
You know, Rich, when you say you grew the beard just for me, again, I don't mean to be cynical, but I couldn't care less whether you have a beard or not. In fact, I couldn't care less whether you come down or not.
That's great, Bob. I love you, too. I can't wait until you come on the radio show again with Lewis and Florwax this Friday.
Rich, you've become a national hero, or at least a national figure of some sort.
Only because of you. Buy these T-shirts.
I'm awfully proud, ladies and gentlemen, playing such a role in the making of this young man's career. We're back with more.
History this year, points scored in the first half and second half, interceptions 13 in the second half, +6 on their turnover, -14. So Denver this year has collapsed in the second half of virtually every game. Let's see if they can turn that around.
And Denver will have the first opportunity in the second half with Ezor and Montgomery, the 2 deep backs on the return. And out to Montgomery to the 5, the 10. It's a nice move. 15 and kind of crawls his way out to the 20-yard line before James Saxon stops him. And let's take a quick look at the statistics of the first half. And they kind of balance off pretty much against each other. Yards rushing and yards passing, total yards. Quarterback comparison. 165 yards apiece.
Pretty darn good. The interesting factor is no running game by either team, and both wanted to come in here and dominate the other with their running game. So it'll turn out to be a quarterback contest, I think, in the second half.
And Elway starts from the Denver 20. Has time, goes deep, double coverage. Incomplete. Vance Johnson, the intended receiver. Deron Cherry and Kevin Ross both there. We have the report on all the Kansas City Chiefs that were injured in the first half. They should all be back with the possible exception of Albert Lewis. Here's another look.
Deron Cherry is in perfect position as a free safety to make a play on that ball. John Elway wanted to throw to his right and came off his receiver a little too early, threw right into the middle, and Cherry was right there, right on the spot.
Good news for Kansas City fans. Albert Lewis is back in to start the second half. It'll be second down and 10. Elway fires just a little behind Mark Jackson. It's incomplete. It'll be third and 10.
Elway looked for Sewell to the outside early, then just turned and threw to Jackson. And Jackson just didn't see that ball coming quickly enough. Slant pattern, and watch where the ball comes just behind him. John looked right to the outside, then turned and threw inside and missed his receiver. Somebody's going to make that play and win this ball game. Those kinds of plays.
Michael Young wide to the near side. Vance Johnson is inside of him, and two wide receivers on the far side. Four-man rush by Kansas City. Deep single coverage. Kevin Ross had perfect position. Shannon Sharp, the intended receiver.
Ross was in beautiful shape, as you say, Charlie, inside his receiver and also forcing the receiver along the sideline. And Sharp just couldn't do anything about it. Ross had him pinned on the sideline and staying abreast with him. Now watch this beautiful position of staying with his receiver, and then when the receiver looks to the ball, then Ross looked back himself and made a play.
First turnover of the second half. Turnovers have plagued the Broncos, but on the good side of the Denver coin, it was 40 yards on the interception. That is about the same result as a punt. Kansas City from their own 40-yard line. They start with good field position. And here is Okoye, and he has a yard and a half, maybe two. And Warren Powers is there to greet him.
They're meeting Okoye. They're coming full speed. He's coming full speed. And these are immense collisions. Like two freight trains colliding, because Okoye isn't going to bend. He's not going to cut back. He's not going anywhere but straight ahead, and they know it. So they just tee off on him. A year ago, that wasn't happening. People didn't realize what it took to stop it.
Tim Grunhard back in at offensive center for Kansas City.
Steve DeBerg changing the play.
Play action fake. He wants to go deep. The coverage is there, and it is incomplete. Good defensive coverage by Randy Robbins. Page, the intended receiver. It'll be third down and 8. What did he see to make him change off to that?
I'm not sure. He thought he could get single coverage, and he faked so he could get a little time with that bootleg he runs. But Page didn't get inside his defender. He didn't get inside of Robbins, so DeBerg really had nowhere to throw the ball. But Kansas City has to do those kind of things. Go for it on occasion. And Steve will gamble.
And remember, DeBerg has been intercepted only 3 times this year, all in the Indianapolis game. We've got flags and whistles shouting before the play gets off.
It looks like Denver got Zott to move.
79 offense.
David Zott moved when Denver faked a blitz. And as soon as he moved, Ron Holmes moved, number 90, and got the offsides.
Denver leading 13-10 with 13:43 left to go, third quarter. Second half just underway.
This guy's a good one. 7th round pick, former wrestler, excellent wrestler. People thought he'd be too small. He only played offensive line 1 year of his college career. And a lot of people overlooked him, and he's along the lines of Wisniewski of the Raiders. Excellent potential.
DeBerg knocked away at the line of scrimmage by Ron Holmes. Holmes with the defensive play.
Holmes is playing well.
He is.
And I can't say he's been doing that in some of the earlier games, but today he is really playing. It's almost like Denver's desperate. He's being held, and he just keeps putting the pressure. So often, the pass rush includes the blocker who's being pushed back into the pass rush. And that's what happened there.
Barker to kick. Here comes the rush. He gets it off. Fair catch is called for by Vance Johnson, and he'll take it at about the 21-yard line. The score, Denver 13, Kansas City 10, 13 and a half. With the kind of weather we're having today, what is it, like it's 60 degrees at kickoff time? As you can see, it is absolutely gorgeous. We forget it's the holiday season. Christmas is just around the corner.
I wonder if it's ever been like this in the Midwest. This weather's unbelievable.
Bobby Humphrey gets the call from the 21. He'll go to the 25-yard line. Marty Schottenheimer, the head coach of Kansas City, has had his problems with the Denver Broncos. And look at this. Monkey on my back. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, he is 0-6 in his career as a head coach against Dan Reeves and the Denver Broncos.
And the kind of losses John Elway's pulled on him is like a dirty trick.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's taking somebody right to the brink where they're celebrating on the sideline, then to pull the game away from them.
Elway fires over the middle. It is, I believe, a complete pass. Yes, and a fumble and a scramble for the ball. Kansas City says they have it.
I'd assume they're going to replay this one, Charlie.
Shannon Sharp, the receiver, and the officials say it is a complete pass, a fumble, and the turnovers in the second half particularly continue to plague the Broncos.
It's tough to say whether he caught it. I didn't think he had it. Good pass protection for John Elway. Oh, that's tight.
And that's not at full. Can we show that again at full speed? I'm not sure he had possession at full speed.
It is tightened.
Kansas City at the Denver 38. Now this is at full speed.
The official has to make a call here.
I don't think it's possession, but right now Kansas City is going to get the play off. And the turnover will count. And Okoye goes to the 34-yard line. And again, that's a judgment call. He had to make the judgment call, and it was close either way.
Yeah, you can't quarrel with an official on a call like that. Replay helps, but those kind of calls I don't think coaches or anyone would be upset with. Okoye needs his blockers to sustain contact and not unleash somebody on him. If that happens, he can break arm tackles. And on that last play, he got some contact sustained by his offensive lineman and then broke the arm tackles as he went by.
2nd and 6. Okoye to the 28-yard line.
There it is again. This is what he was doing a year ago, down after down.
Reagan with the tackle.
If the defender has to contend with a blocker, you'll see it here, and make the tackle. You see, contending with a blocker that time for Warren Powers was so difficult because he couldn't quite get off and make a clean tackle.
3rd down and a foot at the 29-yard line.
And you have to make a clean tackle on Okoye. In other words, you have to be there without anybody interfering with it.
Okoye again to the 20-yard line. 1st down. You know, last week, Okoye ran for only 5 yards, although he did score 2 touchdowns. But when we talked with Marty Schottenheimer, he said Christian got every yard that was there.
In other words, the blocking wasn't enough. Now here he cuts back. He rarely is able to do it. Beautiful job of actually blocking and running people by with Grunhard and he forces his guy to spin out. Cragen to spin out too late.
First down at the 20. Denver leads by 3, 13-10. There's a play action fake. The pass is complete to Bill Jones. Jones spins inside the 5 and goes out at the 1.
Well, you almost know it's coming. You hit Okoye inside 5, 5, 8, 5, and you know DeBerg will then keep the ball on the bootleg. He'll fake to Okoye. Beautiful job. Has people chasing him, and then wide open receiver. Bill Jones was nobody near him.
But his production is falling off. Bill Jones's last 4 receptions were all for touchdowns. This one, he's a yard away.
Very disappointing.
First and goal. Okoye. And he is nailed by Carl Mecklenburg.
Now that's vintage Mecklenburg.
Yeah.
Did he put a stop to it?
Great play.
Well, he's back playing where he belongs. I think everybody agrees, including Dan Reeves, that this guy's an inside linebacker. They moved him to the outside to try to get a pass rusher of significance, and he was okay. But inside, he's still an outstanding player. I'm sure you'll see him there next year.
Loss of a yard. Second and goal at the 2. Okoye left side. Official runs in. He's going to spot it short of the goal line. Alton Montgomery made the hit, and the official was looking right down the line.
We get lost by the marker. Well, his knee's down.
Good call. Yes, excellent call.
That was a beautiful call by the official, if there's such a thing. They get so expert at these kinds of things. If you and I tried to go out there, we'd wonder who had the ball.
And Okoye is still down, and we've got an injury timeout. That stops the clock. We have 9:20 is the time. Remember, it bothers me when this happens. But they just want to double check, and they have X-ray equipment here, and the finest of medical equipment in the National Football League. So
you'd think Christian Okoye is indestructible, but this game is so violent that even a guy like this great athlete can have an injury. Oh, he's moving both knees. That's not the problem.
And that's good news.
Oh, that is news.
Christian Okoye.
Take another look.
Excellent blocking.
He tripped over one of his own men. Is that what happened?
That's what it was.
Yep.
Just got tangled in people's legs. But he's out of the game, getting his legs tangled up, so it's not a tearing, severe type injury, I don't believe. There it is.
Yeah, but I wonder, I was just thinking it might be they were looking at the right wrist too. If it might have been that when he tried to brace himself. We'll have a report, of course. As soon as see how they're holding that right wrist. May have been that when he tried to protect himself when he goes down, and that's just a normal reaction.
Kansas City isn't going to lose a step, and we know that. There's Barry Word's in the game, and Barry is one of the bright, young, aspiring stars in the league.
But right now, the Broncos are fashioning the goal line stand. They have done it twice. It was first and goal at the 1, second and goal at the 2. Now it's third and goal and just inches away.
Well, again, the linebackers for Denver have to gamble. They've got to start for it and come over the top.
Barry Word, and he does not go in. Denver does it again.
Carl Mecklenburg, he read that play beautiful. And he came in behind it, and he sort of gambled. He took a shot when that ball was snapped. Watch him move immediately, pilfering right in behind people.
Now, do you go for it, or do you go for the field goal?
Humma. I don't know.
Oh, that's a tough call. Kansas City's going for it. Crowd wants them to. If you're going to win the championship, you got to do it. Word, touchdown.
To make a call and Tim Grunhard, they're blocking. You have to know it's going to be there. And they did a beautiful job with it. David Zott, he pulled around to the outside and cut his man down. So really that call's related to the confidence you have in your offensive line. There's that sinking feeling that Denver must have right now.
Extra point is good. Kansas City 17, Denver 13. With an interception and a fumble recovery. Now Elway will have still another opportunity as Lowry will kick off. And here's Montgomery at the 2. He drops it, picks it up at the 3, and is decked at the 2. Todd McNair got him.
This is Denver's plight all year. Individual breakdowns, just simply mishandling a kickoff. No reason to mishandle it, then taking your eye off it, and all H breaks loose. Kansas City is so inspired this year, playing so intensely, that any flaw, anything that shows up, they take advantage of.
And in addition, there was a flag against Denver at the 13. They split the distance to the goal line. Denver starts at their 1. Elway's pass is incomplete to Clarence Kay.
Again, Chris Martin, who's been covering Kay very, very well all day, was right with Kay. John Elway wanted him to hit a drag pattern to his tight end. Chris Martin read the play perfectly and just walked right out there with him. Elway had nowhere to go but just throw the ball, basically throw it away. Martin is really a fine player, and you don't read much about him because of Derek Thomas, but Martin is a real technician.
And the crowd, as you can tell, completely involved in the ball game, entirely different than the first half. And we have jumping on the left side. When we talked with Dan Reeves, I said, you know, when you come out thinking about going just throwing against Kansas City, he said, I am concerned about the crowd noise, the snap count, my offensive left tackle, and the speed rusher that Kansas City has on that side, Derek Thomas. And all of that involved in this last call.
Everything working against Darrell Hamilton. The noise, he cannot hear Elway, so he has to move on the defensive man's move, so he's going to be late. Plus that he's playing against one of the best players in football, so tremendous heat on him. Now this guy, Darrell Hamilton, will be a very solid starting tackle at some point in his career, but at this point he's learning against guys like Derek Thomas.
Second down, 10 and a half. Elway cannot hear. He steps away.
When you get down in that corner, Charlie, you're getting the noise from 3 sides.
The Kansas City Chiefs have been in this stadium now for 17 years here at Arrowhead. This is only the second time, this moment is only the second time in the history of this stadium that the official has had to stop a game because of the crowd.
I have asked the defensive team to help lower the level of crowd noise. Thank you for cooperating.
And of course, there also has never been a playoff game here. So you have a crowd here of almost 78,000, and they are anticipating this whole holiday season.
Well, they've been to Seattle in that indoor deal and had all kind of trouble over the years. Well, now they're getting their turn to make a little noise.
Steps away again. As a matter of fact, when this happened before in the Cleveland game, after the next week after the game, I saw Norma Hunt, Lamar's wife, And she said, it was so exciting that I wanted Lamar to take out a full-page ad in the Kansas City Star and thank everybody for cheering for the Chiefs. And I said, did he do it? He said, well, no, he said he took out a half-page ad.
To help lower the crowd noise. Any further crowd noise problem will result in a charged timeout against Kansas City. Thank you for your cooperation.
And so this is the rule. You could call this the rule book rule because it is being enforced.
And you know, Kansas City people are rather sophisticated. Now just think if they were in Cleveland, down at that end of the stadium.
Woo! It would be bombs away, wouldn't it? Bobby Humphrey, he's got a couple of yards. The ball kicks out, but the play was dead.
What they have to do here is get room for their punter. They don't want to have a punter that's any less than 14 yards from the center. So when you're backed up, the timing of the punt, the snap, and then their punt rushers, who are outstanding for Kansas City, have a better shot at you. So Elway's got to get another 2 or 3 yards on this play.
And Bobby Humphrey came into the game needing 49 yards to reach 1,000 yards for the second year in a row in his first 2 years. He has 36, so he is 13 yards shy of that mark. He'll get it this year. He may not get it today, but he could. Elway scrambles, throws, passes, complete to Jackson. That was third down, about 8 to go. And he throws for 23.
Now he is trapped, and for all intents and purposes. Look at this. He's going to have a safety, and he throws on the run with 2 people hanging on him. Well, this is so much like the Randall Cunningham play a week ago. Thomas comes inside and almost gets there with 2 people blocking him.
A first down at the Denver 27-yard line. Humphrey, those yards are tough inside. He'll get a couple, maybe 3. And now temper's beginning to flare just a bit. Salimua with the tackle. Here's the injury report on Christian Okoye, a strained right shoulder, questionable if he can return. They'll mark the ball at the 29, so it'll be second down and 8. Exactly, Marty Schottenheimer calming down. Don't lose your poise. You've got the lead 17-13. You've been in this position. You have to know how it is to play in this position. And don't lose the game on a dumb mistake. That's really what you say.
Basically.
Humphrey? Nothing is there. He'll get a yard to the 30. It's going to be third down and 7.
This guy, Neil Smith, is becoming a real football player. And people questioned a lot of things about him early on. This year, with the kind of coaching he's receiving, it really has shown up because he's really using all of his abilities now. And he's becoming a great one with great athletic ability.
Tom Pratt, the defensive line coach, has done an excellent job.
He really has. You know, Neil Smith suffered with dyslexia, as it was, with read backwards all his life, and people couldn't identify it with him. And he was accused of things, and people wondered about a lot of his intelligence, and come to find out that's the only problem he had. And since then, he's gotten the kind of education he needed and the help he needed, and he's a real neat guy and a service to the community.
And he's working with kids that have the same, youngsters have the same problem, yes.
You know, in his time, they didn't identify him.
And here is Elway. Man's amazing. 42-yard line. First down. Remember, not so long ago, it was 3rd and 8 in the shadow of the goalpost. Now, first down at the Denver 42. Play action fake. And he gets the pass off to Clarence Kay. And Kay battles to the 39-yard line.
Was that the grasper, wasn't it? You never know. He got that ball off before, I guess, the whistle could be blown. Now look at Martin, unblocked, Elway sees him, throws the ball. I think if Martin had Elway below the waist, they'd have called it. Unblocked, they assumed that Martin, here's coming outside is Kay uncovered, but they assumed Martin would be fooled, and he wasn't. But there's vintage Elway. I've said it any number of times today, but this is, how could people quarrel about Elway? I read some of the newspaper sports columns about him. I can't believe it, how fortunate the people of Denver are to have this guy.
19 yards to the Kansas City 39. Here's Kerry Porter. And that is his first rush of the season. Now he has caught a few passes, 3, but that's the first time he's carried. And he has 3 to the 36. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. Now, John Elway, you recruited John Elway for Stanford. Now, how was he as a high school quarterback?
Well, it was much the same. That's everybody in the country wanted John. The concern was how much baseball he wanted in his life, because he was a fine baseball player.
And here is Bobby Humphrey, and with that run, he should go over the 1,000 mark for the 2nd year in a row.
This is extremely well blocked, with Humphrey. Once that ball carrier gets the blocking out of the line, let's just say the first 4 yards are blocking, and from that point on, it's the ball carrier's ability. And that time, the blocking got him the first 4.
He now has 1,005 yards on the season, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for Bobby Humphrey in his first 2 years in the NFL, and joins a very select group of players. And here he is again. This time he'll have a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Moss with the tackle. And those select players, they are 1,000 yards rushing, first 2 seasons. Brockington, Dorsett, Earl Campbell, Andrews.
Oh, is Andrews good?
Sims, Dickerson, and now Bobby Humphrey. Oh,
that's a pretty good group.
That is a good group.
I'll tell you, the guy that I've had so much respect for is William Andrews of the Atlanta Falcons. What a great player he was prior to that injury.
2nd and 9. And the draw, Humphrey. Fumble, and Kansas City has it. The 3rd turnover of the 2nd half for the Broncos.
Coaches. Look at the opening on the left. Humphrey finally finds it, but he's lost the ball somewhere in that traffic.
Lloyd Burris stripped him of the ball, and the reaction of Dan Reed. It's at the 35-yard line. There was a scuffle right as we went into commercial, and a personal foul penalty charged against, we believe, one of the Wydell brothers of Denver, and so Kansas City starts from their own 35-yard line. Down at the 36-yard line.
He was hit right at the line of scrimmage. I believe it was Dennis Smith that was right there and had a chance to make the big stop. Watch number 49 coming right up in the middle of the screen. There's the stop, and Word just lowers his shoulder and breaks the tackle. And Smith, not a bad tackle.
29 yards on the play. It's Kansas City 17, Denver 13. Here's another look.
And Smith gives him a shot. But the old coach's axiom, you've got to wrap him up. And he didn't do it.
A minute and a half to go in the 3rd. And Word to the 33. A gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Atwater with a tackle. And the Hertz 10-minute ticker. An update. Washington trailing Chicago. Chicago with 3 field goals. Rams over New Orleans by 3. And here at Arrowhead, it is Kansas City 17 and Denver 13. Now with 1:07 and counting time remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Kansas City is naturally going to their running game to control the ball.
And to work a little on the clock. And also when you've got Barry Word, he can shoulder that load as he carries it.
He's strong.
And one thing that Dan Reeves told us about is that he cuts back as well as anybody in the league. He likes to cut to daylight or to twilight or to darkness now, as time has settled on us here in the Midwest.
Ward has done this any number of times. That second half, he comes in and begins to dominate the game. Now, part of that domination is the offensive line for Kansas City.
Third down and 1. To the 17.
You just talked cutback, Charlie, and that's what he did. He broke behind Greg Cragen and just split the defense.
And there's a marker on the play.
Now you see Cragen and Grunhard going left, and Word just breaks right in behind him.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 71 defense after the play. Half the distance, first down.
So costly when you lose your composure. And they'll add it to the end of the run.
Grunhard did a beautiful job on Cragen, and we didn't see the foul. He must have just been frustrated.
And time runs down. Third quarter is over. We'll be right back after these inside the Denver 9-yard line. Denver has been penalized for 70 yards, Kansas City for 33. First and goal. Play action, fake pass is complete. And Bill Jones.
That's the third touchdown I've seen them throw the exact play to Jones. 2 against the Raiders. And now this one.
And 2 against San Diego. Same play.
Exact thing. You fake to the tailback Word, and Jones comes out of the I formation like he wants to block. Then he slips into the flat. You see, fake to Jones. Now here's, fake to Word, and now here's Jones. No one near him because they're so intent on stopping Christian Okoye or Barry Word, whoever's in the game, that Jones just slips out into the flat. You've got to stop that play. The Raiders had 2 shots at it and couldn't stop it.
Now we may have a review. So 5 out of Jones's last 6 receptions have been for touchdowns.
On the field, we roll completed pass, a touchdown. But the play is being reviewed.
That's just to explain it is being reviewed. We'll take another look at it.
Here's a good look at Jones slipping right out into the flat and nobody paying attention to him. Sort of relieved he's not going to block him.
That's the 5. Oh, you can't tell from there, but I think, do we have another angle? I think we do.
It looked as though the ball was inside. Now you'll see him slip right out into the flat, right here, into the flat, and then, of course, work up the sound. Meanwhile, there's a fake to the inside right here. Now just watch the ball. It's
I'll watch
in his right hand.
Out of bounds there.
Yeah.
And the question is, at that point, had the ball broken the plane? And it has to be conclusive. Now, that's a high shot. And these are the men that are reviewing it. Chuck Heberling is the replay official.
If it's not a touchdown, it's on the goal line. I mean,
yeah.
It's within 6 inches of the goal
second
line.
down and goal to go. But remember what Denver did at the other end. I mean, they put on a great goal line. This is that same high angle.
Foot's out.
There.
The ball is not over the goal line.
Not over the. I would think you have to reverse it. All fairness, I think you have to reverse it. You know, the only question, he's definitely out of bounds. Question, did the ball break the plane? And you need that shot right down the goal line. And now here's the final word.
After review, the ball is ruled dead at the half-yard line. It will be second down, goal to goal.
You know, either way they rule it, I got to say that's a good choice.
Sure.
Either way.
That's what replay's for, and that's why it functions. If this were for the championship on the last play of the game,
they've got to make the same call, though. You've got to be consistent with the ruling. And that's the way it should be. The only thing that bothers me, I think that it's a guess from that shot. See, they only see what we see and what the viewer sees at home. They don't have any special camera. And that's a guess, and I don't like them to make a decision on the guess, although I think they guess right. Action fake all alone. Dante Whitaker.
Well, you can afford to do that at 1st and goal on a 6-inch line. And the I formation off tackle play with Word faking in there like this is pulling everybody, and it appears Mecklenburg had the coverage. He came up to stop the run, and Whitaker was just totally uncovered.
And that is his first NFL touchdown.
I'm sure at this point, Dan Reeves feels snake bit after driving all the way down the field and fumbling.
He is in the second half. And what about Rich Goins in Denver? He sits atop Boss, just over 14 and a half to go. DeBerg, the Cinderella season. It certainly is. 24-13 Kansas City. Ezor and Montgomery are deep. Lowry kicks off. And Ezor takes it at the 7. The 20, the 25, cuts back at the 30. He's to the 40. He's going to be caught from behind, and he is by Todd McNair.
McNair had a good angle on Ezor, and he just took the proper angle to catch him from behind. Now, this is good running. This is just persistence is what it is. A lot of contact inside, then the good cut. Now look at the angle right in behind him, and that was the difference.
50 yards on the return by Blake Ezor, the rookie free agent from Michigan State. And Denver goes to work at the Kansas City 43 with a lot of time remaining, 14:21 in the game. And Elway goes deep, and it is incomplete. Vance Johnson, and again, Johnson looked as if he wanted to go to the inside. Elway was reading him and the defense to go to the outside.
Bill Moss is playing a superb game. Now there's Thomas, but watch Moss right up inside. That is tough on John. John had to get rid of the ball long before he wanted to. Little contact trouble.
Yeah, Sully New wears contact lenses, and they've been bothering him a couple times that he's been kind of rearranging them. You know, if you wear contacts, but that doesn't work. They're very uncomfortable. This one is drilled to Mark Jackson, and Jackson has it at the 35-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and still a couple to go.
Excellent job by Mark.
3rd and 2.
Coming inside, well-designed pass play with Mark starting to the inside and then breaking back outside and catching the ball. That last play, I'll tell you, Darrell Hamilton did a beautiful job on Derek Thomas. He really did. He's learning. Might be a little late for this game.
3rd and 2.
I'd assume they'll go for it on 4th down, Charlie, if they don't make it.
Inside handoff to Steve Sewell. And this is going to be close. Sewell's coming back off of IR. He was there for 4 weeks on injured reserve. He hurt his shoulder weightlifting.
You know, that's an interesting subject, that weight training thing, because these guys start working with weights that are really almost unmanageable to get as much strength as they can. And you see all kind of back problems develop in the training room. In this case, a dislocated shoulder trying to lift.
Officially, it's the 32-yard line. It's between the 32 and the 33. And it's a 1st down for Denver as they convert on 3rd down. Humphrey, the remaining back. Jackson, the motion man. And we had motion on the right side. They should call this play back. They will.
Looked like Kay leaned back.
Aha, but Kay is a tight end. He can lean back. That rule is tackle to tackle. You cannot make that move. So, you know, he would be illegal motion, but the play should go.
Ball start, 88, offense, 5 yards, still 1st down.
He's a tight end. I don't agree with that call. You know, it was drew a flag, but the play should have been allowed to go. He's right at the top of the screen. He's a tight end.
He's leaning. He's trying to pick up Martin.
Yeah, because see, a tight end can lean. You know, that can readjust and all that, and that's not motion. Our Xerox 10-minute ticker, updating the late score. Chicago in front, New Orleans in front. And here is Kansas City 24 and Denver 13. Elway slips out of a sack and completes the pass.
Now, how he did that, I can't believe.
That's magic.
It is.
It has to be. Mark Jackson on the receiving end.
And these guys believe in him, so the receivers stay alert and come up with the plays they need. Some real protection problems on a part of Denver. And excellent pass rush by Kansas City.
Gordon McCarter is the referee. And we're waiting for the definitive statement.
Illegal contact. Number 59 defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's on Percy Snow. What he's calling is contact 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, because you can chuck a man within 5 yards, but once the receiver gets past 5 yards, you can't do it. So they spot the ball at the 33-yard line.
I think what they're saying is that John Elway broke the pocket and started to run. Then everything's off.
Everything is off. And it's going to be a first down. And here again, the crowd reaction at Arrowhead Stadium. There's the blitz, the screen right side to Sammy Winder, and Winder is down along the sideline.
Winder, the old aging veteran they use in the passing situations. This guy's had a great career, but Bobby Humphrey has not developed as a pass receiver or pass protector, so they're still being almost forced to use Sammy Winder. Now it's a screen pass, and he gets everything he can out of it.
And it'll be 2nd and 5 at the 27-yard line. Humphrey. And he's going to lose a yard. Dino Hackett, the leading tackler for the Chiefs, got it.
Well, Lewis Cooper's in there. He did a fine job, too. The scouting report on Denver was split backs, with a back behind each tackle was run weak. Run the trap play weak, according to Aaron Cherry, and did they have it figured out? Now, the next thing they do is fake that trap and throw the ball. So at some point, Elway's going to fake that trap to the weak side and come up with a pass.
3rd down and 6 at the 28. Elway scrambles right. This is where he's the most dangerous. And he throws back to Sewell. And Sewell is to the 10, hit at the 5, and down around the 2. And there's a Bronco hurt back at the 38-yard line.
Is that Lanier? It is.
I think it is. It's
Usually
Ken
when
Lanier.
those big guys are down, it's a knee. Now, this loss would really hurt, although the season hasn't gone that well. This is their one quality offensive lineman. It looks like it gets robbed. But now look at Elway. This is absolutely miraculous football. Miraculous. And this is his best game of the year, I'm sure.
Timeout. We'll be back. And Humphrey spins. He is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now, this isn't the script that Kansas City was prepared for. Denver isn't caving in. They're coming back. And there was a fumble that stopped the drive. Now they go the length of the field with a drive and do a beautiful job. That's the trap play we talked about. And Doug Wydell does a fine job of pulling and trapping for Humphrey. So Denver's broken out of that self-destruct mode, at least for the time being. something that's killed them all year.
And here is the extra point. And it is good. And don't forget the 50-yard kickoff return by Blake Ezor, the happiest man in the world. Well, it could be Rich Goins. It is cold in Denver.
Steve DeBerg brought out an old poster, 1980, when he and I were going to bring the 49ers back. Of course, that's me with the gray hair on the left, but I think I've aged. That's what 10 years of head coaching does. But this guy has become vintage, and this guy has become one of the great ones in football, and thanks to him, the 49ers have done well, and he's become a very, very good friend.
Yeah, you didn't do too bad either. And here is Todd McNair on the return. And he is out to the 20-yard line. Anthony Thompson makes the tackle for Denver. And the score is Kansas City 24, Denver 20. That is the Cleveland-Houston score today. Houston big in the standings in the AFC Central. They look like this, a three-way tie with Cincinnati, Houston, and Pittsburgh. And then on Sunday, Houston will be a flag is down. Barry Word is going to lose a yard on the play. Tim Lucas with the tackle.
It's sure interesting to see how intense players perform, and then when something good happens or they see a shot at winning, they become aroused. And Denver right now is aroused. They just took away the blockers that time to get to the ball carrier.
Illegal motion, number 87 offense. Penalty declined, second down.
That's an Alfredo Roberts.
Now the ground game has to make the difference. They need 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, at least that much, before they turn the ball back, or unless, of course, they score.
9:21 time remaining in the ball game. Kansas City leads by 4, 24-20. Second and 11 at the 19. And here's Barry Word. He's going to get a yard of that back, and that's going to be it. It'll be third down and 10 as Carl Mecklenburg brought him down.
Mecklenburg is so tough when it comes to the one-on-one tackle. He's the guy that can make the clean tackle. He's strong enough and has enough girth that he stops people. There's a good shot at it right there.
And remember what Dan Reeves told us yesterday, that when Mecklenburg was outside, he got frustrated when they ran away from him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
this way, when he's inside, you can't run away from him.
No, that's right. He can get into the play, and he can use the physical characteristics he has to his advantage.
Complete to Rob Thomas. It's a first down. A key third down conversion, a gain of 16. Alton Montgomery with the tackle.
Denver went to man-to-man coverage, blitzing Steve Atwater, so it boiled down to one-on-one, and Montgomery just can't stay with it. He's trying to protect his inside, and Thomas is so quick he broke out and made the play. But again, DeBerg just felt the blitz coming, held the ball, and threw a nice, soft, accurate ball to the outside.
Now we'll go back to working on the clock with Barry Word. Warren Powers with the tackle. I don't think there's any surprises as far as Kansas City's offense is concerned, except somewhere in this drive you're going to get that play action fake, and DeBerg's going to go deep.
I would think so. I would think so. They're just setting it up, and of course they're controlling the ball and using the clock, which is part of being a champion.
That's Christian Okoye, shoulder injury. There may be a slight separation wrapped, that's what we're guessing. May have some ice on it.
Sure.
There wasn't a hole there, so Barry Word trying to go over the top. He'll end up at the 41-yard line.
Denver's giving it all they've got. And when I say that,
they are playing well.
They're playing hard. They did last week. And if they don't watch out, they're going to win this game and some other games and lose a chance to draft one of those Colorado linebackers. Kanavis McGee or Alfred Williams would make a dramatic impact on this Denver team, and they're going to be drafted in the bottom first three or four players.
And Bill Walsh giveth, and then he taketh away. Pass is complete to Stephon Page, first down. Twice in this drive, the Chiefs have converted at third down. It was 3rd and 10, now 3rd and 5. Henderson with the tackle.
The play calling is very, very good for Kansas City now. They're doing things they know will be there. They've run this before and it's worked. Joe Pendry does a very, very nice job as an offensive coordinator, along with Al Saunders and Minnie Howard Mudd, an excellent offensive line coach. I'm sure supported in his coaching by Mike Webster.
Stephon Page, 3 receptions, 76 yards and a touchdown. Page is the motion man.
There's the play pass.
The word out of the backfield. And the defensive coverage this time by Steve Atwater. Just as if, was he mirroring Word, just staying with him wherever he went?
Well, he had a good angle, and he knew Word didn't have anywhere to go but the sideline when he caught the ball. There's Joe Pendry, who quietly does a very, very solid job. And I think what Kansas City has utilized their personnel as well or better than anybody in football. Guys become top performers that previously had been journeymen.
2nd and 11. 4:47 and counting, time remaining in the game. Kansas City leading by 4. Flag is down. And Word just plows through, but there was a marker. Mecklenburg with the tackle.
If this penalty's on Denver, just look for Kansas City to control the ball the rest of the game.
It was 2nd and 11. They went to the 43. They'll move back and take the penalty.
Offside, number 91 defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty.
What a way to go.
Repeat second down.
And our 10-minute ticker. Washington by 1 in the 4th over the Bears, and New Orleans by 4 in the 4th over the Rams. And here it's Kansas City by 4 over Denver with 4:39 to go. And again, Barry Word. Tim Lucas this time stops him. Tim Lucas, number 59. He got a quarterback sack. Basically, he plays a lot on special teams, and Simon Fletcher was telling us that we say that he has the highest sack ratio per rush on the team.
They say when he comes in, things happen one way or the other. So he's been a good, solid replacement. He really has. This is the critical play for Denver. Very evident. But they need some time with the clock when they get the ball. If they don't stop it here, Kansas City is going to take them down to almost too little time for Elway.
In this drive, the Chiefs have converted 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5. Again, it is 3rd and 5. Pass is complete to McNair. He's got the first down. Lilo Lang with the tackle. 3rd time in the drive. The 3rd down conversion.
What they do is create a lot of traffic at the line of scrimmage, and then McNair breaks into the flat, and Atwater, who normally covers him, won't be there. Now McNair crosses the field. Atwater waits for him, and there's so much traffic on the other side of the field, the defenders aren't there. Well designed. And a guy like McNair, you talk about Word and Okoye and Jones, and this 3rd down guy is just what you need, because he can make that 5- and 8-yard play.
And Word goes to the 31. Kansas City leading by 4. Denver with 2 timeouts remaining. The Chiefs have 3. Denver on their own 31-yard line defensively as Kansas City has the ball. 2nd and 7. Look at the time they've used up. Almost 7 minutes on this current drive. 29-yard line. Now Denver will stop the clock again. And we will step away for a moment. And we'll be seeing Denver to go the length of the field.
There's the run.
And Denver stops it at the 27-yard line. And they do take, as you said, their last timeout. And we'll be back again to Arrowhead Stadium. Chiefs are going to go for it. I thought they would go for the field goal, try to go up by 7, and force Denver to go the length of the field for the touchdown, just for the tie. So it boils down, but they lead by 4. 7 doesn't help them any. But you're gambling overtime against a loss. So it all boils down to 4th and 3 at the 27.
I'd assume they'll make it, I guess, but I'm surprised they didn't kick.
You can't assume anything in football.
Safety blitz.
There it is. Complete, first down, touchdown.
Same play. Rob Thomas breaking to the outside with everybody blitzing, safeties blitzing, single coverage to the outside, and Thomas is so quick that he just made his man chase him. Kip Corrington cannot stay with Rob Thomas. Well done, and I guess that's what it takes to win a championship. Marty Schottenheimer went for it. He put him away, and Canavis McGee and Alfred Williams are that much closer to playing right near Boulder, Colorado.
And the extra point is good.
You're going to see a out pattern right here, and Corrington really unable to handle it. Meanwhile, people are going to be blitzing from the outside, and the ball's gone before they ever get there. You see Atwater coming up inside. Steve DeBerg's already gotten rid of the ball by the time he gets there. In a situation like that, you have to close down the spacing of those blitzers. They've got to get there quicker because all DeBerg needed was a short completion. What a banner year for this guy. He's among the best in football, and it's like a journeyman heavyweight finally getting a shot at the title and getting it.
And he took the Chiefs 80 yards, 13 plays, and in addition, he ran 7 minutes and 13 seconds off of the clock. And remember, that was 4th and 3 at the 27.
Each time you see the Chiefs, they're a little bit better. Each time. Closing up all the little gaps, and they're quickly becoming a championship football team.
Alton Montgomery and Blake Ezor are the return men. Nick Lowry will kick off. At the 6-yard line, it is Blake Ezor. Earlier he had the 50-yard return. This time he returns to the 20.
Conflict of interest, but the San Francisco 49ers, to have the kind of game they had against the Giants and win it, then to come into Cincinnati, who was inspired to beat them and beat them a few days later, is a magnificent thing. And I just have to think the San Francisco team is right back where they were a year ago, the best in football.
Elway fumbles the snap, picks it up, throws. It is complete over the head of the first receiver, but Vance Johnson was downfield, and he's got a first down. The ball at the 33-yard line, gain of 12, first down. And now the 2-minute warning will be given. We'll be back in a moment. Drew DeBerg.
And, you know, Drew is not really happy until he sees his dad make a nice run. And
but Mommy is not that thrilled with it.
Yeah.
Also, the poster that we showed you earlier, that was to be autographed, but that was to be autographed for Amy.
Yes.
The daughter.
Yes.
First down at the 33. Elway throws, and it is intercepted. No, not intercepted. Lloyd Burris went for it. I thought he had it for a moment. It'll be 2nd and 10.
No one can tell me that good management and coaching can't make a difference even on an average football team, because this Kansas City team had self-destructed and disappointed and frustrated people for so many years, and Carl Peterson, Marty Schottenheimer put together a wonderful organization almost overnight, just 2 years. Oh, there he is.
Derek Thomas, his 2nd sack of the ball game, and the 4th of the game for the Chiefs.
That was easy. That was a walk around that time. He was so quick with Hamilton, and he's untouched. Now, he didn't even have to reach out for John. He just grabbed him and bear hugged him.
3rd and 18.
And that is the cast on the center, Grunhard. And Elway is sacked again. That's number 5 for the Chiefs. 53 on the year, and they lead the NFL. Saliamua got this one.
The difference, here's Saliamua acquired since Schottenheimer came to the Chiefs. And here's another guy that's played this average to good athlete that's playing superb football. Bill Moss moving to another position. Excellent there. Neil Smith, all these guys are different players. It's a different state of mind.
6 seconds on the clock. Here's the snap. Flags are down. Denver was not set. Going with the Hail Mary. And it is caught by a Denver player. I believe is that Vance Johnson that got it, yes. But I'm sure that Denver was moving. They did not get set in time. And now tippers are flaring. There's pushing and shoving back at the 15-yard line.
It looked like Neil Smith hit John a little late. He'd gotten rid of the ball, and Neil knew.
And somebody has a fistful of Thomas's face mask. Is that Marty that's out there in the middle of it? Don't ever go out without a helmet. And remember, it was 4th down and 22.
Well, this is a long and recently bitter rivalry. And for Kansas City to finally overcome Denver.
31-20, Chiefs in front now with 51 seconds left in the game.
I think it all started with Smith teeing off on John Elway after he threw the ball.
And Smith is down at the 15-yard line. Just down on his knee, but they're just talking about it. There's DeBerg.
Illegal motion.
Yep.
Offense. We have personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 59 on the defense. That is a disqualifying personal foul. When we have this situation, we penalize the major penalty. It's 15 and first down.
Did he say 59?
59.
That's Percy Snow. And did you notice when McCarter, the referee, made that little move with his hand, is that he wanted Schottenheimer to get off the field to play, and he did. He just jumped back off.
Look at Derek. He's got 2 of them.
Snow's trying to, I don't know. The flag may have been before this. See, that's the thing. The flag may have already been thrown, and now we're playing separation time.
Derek got a little out of control. There's a lot of emotion in the game.
You're the master of the understatement.
Well, there's a lot of emotion in the game, but even in this stage of the game, you can't let that happen. You've got to methodically take people apart and just leave the field.
Denver now, still with the ball, have a first down at their own 35-yard line. 51 seconds remaining. That can be an eternity. And the pass is complete. That is Steve Sewell, a gain of 14.
This is really, in a sense, a good test for the Kansas City defense for this kind of a situation. Ahead, a so-called prevent defense that functions well.
Elway's pass is complete to Sammy Winder. Winder to the 40-yard line.
And they're doing a fine job because there just isn't enough time to do any damage.
Clock continues to move. It's a first down. And that'll stop it for a moment.
And I wonder about that technique. He's throwing the ball away, but he doesn't even go through a throwing motion. It's like you could almost call that a fumble. He just throws the ball down. And that wasn't the intent of stopping.
As they had a few moments ago. Elway buys it back, throws it back to the other side. And here goes Bart Jackson. And Jackson is out of bounds. But as he goes out of bounds, the game clock expires. So the celebration continues here in Kansas City. And Rich Goins, the man on the billboard in Denver, and he's going to stay there until Denver has a victory. And it is going to stay cold in Denver. So he doesn't get to come down tonight.
There's a couple of pretty good quarterbacks visiting with each other. Now that's 1 for 7 for Marty. He got a victory, and that, each week, Kansas City sort of breaking a different precedent, beating different people. Two wins over the Raiders each week. It's another milestone in the season.
And remember, Denver led at halftime 13-10, and so now they have won only 3 of 11 games this year that they have led at halftime. Kansas City's record goes to 9-4. They are tied with the Raiders, but they have the matchup against them because they defeated them both times, and the Raiders play tomorrow night. So the Raiders need a victory tomorrow night to stay even, at least in the one-loss column with Kansas City.
You'd have to put Kansas City as one of the top 2 teams, I believe, in the AFC right now, because they're a complete team. The Raiders have yet to fill out all the voids. There's certain things they don't do very well. But Kansas City's all phases of the game, they are doing very, very well.
And so the final score, once again, is Kansas City 31, Denver 20, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Cast for the next few days.
No, Ward, if you want to let me in on it, I'll be glad to listen.
As a matter of fact, we're not going to tell you. We're just going to surprise you this week.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
But you'll be dressed a little more warmly, I think, the next time we see you, perhaps.
Yep.
Now, you have had a lot of company over the weeks, but is that dying down some? Is this becoming a little old hat or not?
No, as a matter of fact, we had probably 300 people out here to watch the game today. I know that there were a lot of Fox listeners who came by and came by the billboard. It was just one big party. I'm sure it'll be a lot bigger next week with all the national television exposure we had this week.
What are you going to do when you finally come down from there, Rich? What's the first thing you're going to do?
I've been asked that a lot. I keep telling everybody all I want to do is just take a nice long bath. That's the first. I like a shave too. I haven't had a shave in about a week or so.
How's the food? What are they feeding you?
The food, all the restaurants have been great. There's so many restaurants that have brought by food. They're so numerous to mention. I eat better here than I do at home. That's the biggest thing. I'm putting on weight now, but the problem is I don't get any sleep. You can hear all the horns in the background. It's 24 hours a day.
They give you an exercycle, or do they tell you just in the middle of the night to get up and go jogging?
No, I lift weights. I've got a couple of dumbbells over here. This week I'm going to request maybe a Stairmaster or an exercise bicycle from the radio station, and then I'm still selling my T-shirts, so I'm in business there again for another week.
You won't be mad at me if I say there are actually 3 dumbbells up there.
Thanks, Ward. And I love the company.
Are you looking this far ahead to think about Christmas? Are you ready to spend Christmas up there if it comes to that?
I don't know if you can get a shot, but I've already got a Christmas tree over here on top of my doghouse. One of the Fox radio listeners donated a Christmas tree. I've already got a couple of gifts underneath.
Well, I've had snow before, but it hasn't lasted very long. So if this one is going to stick, then this will be a new experience for me, Brian.
Rich, now, honestly now, you've got to tell me, what do you think of your Denver Broncos?
Don't say they're my Denver Broncos. They're your Denver Broncos. No, I just want them to win a ball game. I keep thinking they're going to win every week, and they play pretty well, and yet they continue to lose. So just kind of ride the storm out here, so to speak, and hang out for another week and wait for the Chargers to come in next Sunday.
Rich, couple of things real quick. In the newspaper this morning, you might have seen that cartoon. It said that you might be up there until the year 2000, judging from the Broncos schedule and the way they're playing.
I like Drew. I'm a big fan of his, and he knows I may be here to the year 2000. Who knows? Now, as a matter of fact, if you heard earlier with Bob Costas on NFL Live, he said that, in fact, if the Broncos lose every game, he said it last week, that I would be able to come down after Super Bowl 25, which is just a mere 2 months away.
Now, Rich, I hear there are a lot of folks out there. Normally, you're pretty lonely. Who's out there with you today?
Actually, Sundays are great because we get a lot of the Fox Radio listeners that come down, and of course, our morning guys, Rick Lewis and Michael Florwack, started a food drive, and they want people to bring food down for the homeless for every day that I've been up here. And we've got about 300 pounds of food right now, so it's a good cause that we're trying to help out right now. So if you got canned goods and you want to help out the homeless, bring them down.
Hey, Rich, we aren't going to ask for your day-by-day itinerary for lack of time, but give us an idea over the next week. What will you be doing up there to pass the time?
Well, I've got the new Fashions by G, Brian. You're more than welcome to come on down and buy one, baby. I'm gonna be selling a lot of these this week. And
Rich, your subtlety is simply remarkable.
Well, I know, Brian. I might as well get a plug in.
Mr. Promotion, we call him.
Yeah. So other than wearing a KRFX shirt for the next week, which could get a little gamey, what else might you be doing?
I'll be writing a lot of letters. I'll be doing a lot of reading. I got to do my morning show, do the sports on the Fox, so you can listen in there. And other than that, just kind of hanging out on the billboard. I got to put some more decorations on my Christmas tree over here, too, so send bulbs.
Okay. Hey, Rich, enjoy. We enjoyed talking with you, I'm sure.
All right, Kathy,
Seems
take
like
care.
we'll be talking with you again.
Oh, I know you will be sometime.
All right. You take care. Rich